911, what's your emergency?
911, what's your emergency?
Before we begin, please be aware that this video discusses real-life events that may include violence, death, abuse, and other sensitive subject matter. Some viewers may find this content disturbing. There may also be occasional strong language and visual elements, such as flashing or blinking lights. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. This content is presented for educational, informational, and commentary purposes, including news reporting and public discussion. Any images, audio, or video clips that may appear are used under the principles of fair use, as defined by Section 107 of the United States Copyright Act, which allows for limited use of copyrighted material for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. All information in this video is based on publicly available sources and is shared responsibly with the intent to inform and provide context. This video does not intend to defame, misrepresent, or harm any individuals or parties involved.
Once destined for football immortality, Kellen Boswell Winslow II was more than just a name. He was a force on the gridiron. A first-round draft pick, a Pro Bowler, a national champion, the son of Hall of Famer Kellen Winslow, he carried the weight of legacy and success. But behind the acclaim, accolades, and fame, a darker story was unfolding, one that would transform him from celebrated athlete to convicted sexual offender, shocking fans and challenging assumptions about power, privilege, and predatory behavior. Born in San Diego in 1983, Kellen II followed in his father's footsteps into football greatness. In high school, he showed elite talent. In college, he became a unanimous All-American, the best tight end in the nation and a key contributor to the Miami Hurricanes national championship in 2001. Drafted 6th overall in 2004, he played for multiple NFL teams, the Cleveland Browns, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the New England Patriots, and the New York Jets. His career, statistical legacy, hundreds of receptions, thousands of yards, and multiple touchdowns spoke to an elite skill level and a future many young athletes dream of. But his life off the field was fracturing. Personal challenges, including legal issues connected to drugs and public disturbances, began to erode his reputation before the darker clinical details of his crimes emerged. The fall began in earnest in 2018, when Winslow was arrested in Encinitas, California, initially on burglary charges and later on multiple felony allegations, including kidnapping and SA. His legal troubles expanded quickly. Prosecutors alleged that he approached vulnerable women, including a homeless woman in her late 50s living in Encinitas, and assaulted them under coercive circumstances. By spring 2019, Winslow had already been convicted by a jury on some charges, including raping a homeless woman and indecent exposure, though on other charges jurors could not reach verdicts. Amid evidence and testimony from multiple accusers, the remaining charges, including kidnapping and forcible rape, were looming. Prosecutors pushed for a retrial and possible life sentence given the severity, but Winslow's defense navigated a plea agreement that changed the course of the proceedings. In November 2019, just before retrial was set to begin, he pleaded guilty to raping an unconscious teen and to SA battery of a hitchhiker. This plea deal, made to avoid a potential life imprisonment sentence if convicted at retrial, ultimately limited his exposure and carved a path to a defined prison term rather than life behind bars. In March 2021, a California judge formally sentenced Winslow to 14 years in prison, the maximum under his plea deal, for convictions including forcible R of an unconscious person, assault with intent to commit R, indecent exposure, and lewd conduct in public. At sentencing, heart-wrenching victim impact statements painted a vivid picture of the trauma-inflicted lifelong fear, psychological damage, and the shattering of personal safety. Winslow's defense brought forward arguments about brain trauma and possible chronic traumatic encephalopathy, citing head injuries from football and a motorcycle accident that his attorneys claimed contributed to his violent behavior, a controversial contention that sparked its own public discussion about athlete health and criminal accountability. To many fans and peers, Winslow's crimes were baffling. How could someone so accomplished and publicly admired devolve into predatory violence? Psychologists have noted that individuals with histories of impulse control challenges, combined with entitlement and access to vulnerable targets, may escalate from social acting out to criminal acts. While not all such cases involve brain injuries, the overlap of risk factors, prior substance use, impulsivity, and boundary violations can create conditions for repeated predatory conduct. Despite the defense's arguments, the courts upheld Winslow's responsibility for his actions, emphasizing that his fame did not exempt him from consequences. As of late 2025, Winslow is serving his sentence, with a scheduled release tied to parole eligibility and time served. His name, once synonymous with athletic achievement, is now permanently linked to criminality and predation. The broader impact of this case echoes beyond his prison cell. It illustrates the complexity of violence in society, the ways fame can mask pathology, and the importance of victim voices in seeking justice. From a Pro Bowl first-round draft pick to a convicted predator, the story of Kellen Winslow II is a stark reminder that professional success does not always equate to moral integrity. And when fame and vulnerability collide, the consequences can change too many lives forever. Thanks so much for watching my second video. I really appreciate you giving my channel a chance. I'm still learning and improving with each upload, so if you have any constructive feedback or case suggestions, I'd love to hear them. I read all your comments and will do my best to respond. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'm excited to keep growing and getting better with each one. Thanks again for being here.